All this time, we have been led to believe that Charles Leclerc's ultimate goal as an F1 driver was to race for Ferrari. He has gone on record multiple times to say that it was his lifelong dream to race for Scuderia, and when he finally earned his seat, everybody was under the impression that he wouldn't even think of leaving. But in a shocking turn of events, the Monegasque has recently made it known that him leaving the team he longed for is not outside the realm of possibility. Is his time with Ferrari coming to an unexpected close? Let's find out. Leclerc had a fantastic start as a driver for Ferrari. In his first season with the team, he won back-to-back wins in Spa and Monza, the latter being Ferrari's home race, which made the victory extra special. After showing off his championship-caliber capabilities as a driver, Ferrari offered him the longest contract in team history, locking him in for 5 years. Not even Michael Schumacher secured a contract that long, which meant that Ferrari had exceedingly high expectations with Leclerc. The following seasons left much to be desired. The Tifosi have been clamoring for a title, and Ferrari just hasn't been able to deliver yet. And with the exit of team principal Mattia Binotto, Ferrari's fate is at its most uncertain. And at this point in time, even their drivers are starting to doubt if they have what it takes. Leclerc was asked by Sky Sports F1 about the status of his contract and whether or not he will be extending with the team. Everyone was expecting a straightforward answer, but his response now has Ferrari fans alarmed. No, there are no talks ongoing for now at least. I love the color red. I love Ferrari. I'm very happy here. But we'll see what the future holds. Obviously, it's very early to speak about this. My contract ends in 24, but I'll know once there are some talks started. His response has now opened the door to possibly working with other teams. With the unspoken feud going on between Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen, and the possibility of Lewis retiring from the sport, Ferrari's rivals are now paying close attention to the situation to see if they can snatch up Leclerc somehow. For the Tifosi, there's a silver lining. The team's new principal, Frédéric Vasseur, has worked with Leclerc before in Alfa Romeo, and during that time, they have built a bond. And upon taking the helm at Ferrari, Leclerc has been nothing short of impressed by the Frenchman's ability to adapt to the new environment, saying that his experience was far less smooth. He's been amazing to settle in this new position in a new team like Ferrari. There are so many people, it's so big. It's different, I feel, when you arrive at Ferrari, but he knows what he wants. He knows what we need to do well, and how to put the people in the best conditions in order to extract the maximum out of the people, and this is super important. Still, if Ferrari continues to suffer from strategy and reliability issues like they did last year, it will only be a matter of time before Leclerc decides that he has had enough and makes his exit from the team he loves, which means that a lot is riding on the performance of their new car, the SF23. The SF23 was unveiled last Tuesday, and it generated quite a bit of controversy when people started to notice that the front wing design had slot gap separators that looked similar to the ones Mercedes were not allowed to use at last season's United States Grand Prix. Despite its apparently illegal design, there have been claims that an omission from this year's FIA rulebook make it legal for 2023, but Craig Scarborough, an F1 technical analyst, believes that it was included in the launch just to divert people's attention from other areas of the car. In Peter Windsor's YouTube channel, Scarborough went on to say, "On the front of the car is the slot gap separators, the little supports that hold the little bits in between the front wing. Now they've copied something that Mercedes brought last year, which were these fin-shaped ones. Ferrari have done them ever so slightly differently. To my understanding, I think these are illegal. I think this is a bit of subterfuge, just something to catch people's eyes and maybe not look at some other details on the car. That's quite interesting. Personally, I don't expect to see those vanes on the car when we get to the first race. They may appear in testing perhaps, when you're allowed to do stuff like that, but I think that it is just a little bit of fakery going on." Scarborough further added that, "A couple of nice detail changes, but really, the car hasn't really broken the mold for Ferrari. We've seen lots of people take some of Ferrari's ideas like that ridged shoulder on the side pod, but then mated that with the Alpine Red Bull-style sloped side pod to feed the air down to the diffuser in the beam wing. Ferrari have chosen not to do that, and the side pod still ends really high with a Coke bottle cooling exit as well, which is potentially really inefficient to release the air into that area, compared with these big cannon outlets we've seen everybody else have." Scarborough also scrutinized Ferrari for failing to innovate on this year's car. He believes that the team won't benefit from what they did with the SF23, saying, "Ferrari are sticking to their guns. In my opinion, that's a negative thing. That's not how I would design a car, but then again, I'm not a Formula 1 car designer. Ferrari clearly think they've got something there, and what they're aiming for with this side pod package is trying to reduce the drag of the car, but not go for the maximum amount of downforce. Of course, we don't know what's going on underneath the floor of the car, which is really the important area. Ferrari don't seem to have changed their key concept. And after acknowledging some of Ferrari's interesting additions to the car, Scarborough says that he is disappointed in what they have produced this year. That's pretty cool, but overall, I am perhaps a little bit underwhelmed with what Ferrari have put in front of us. It'll be interesting to see how that car does develop through the year and how it stands up to the resurgent look for where Red Bull are at and what Mercedes can be recovering for year 2022. Scarborough feels that since the top 3 teams have gone for different car styles, there will be a competition on which car concept will come out on top. In theory, they should be really fast. There's some assumptions that this aero package is working for them, and they don't have to crank up the rear rating like last year, and that they have the power unit reliability problem sorted out. Their power unit last year certainly didn't lack power, but they just couldn't run it in the nose they needed to in order to maintain reliability. The car should naturally have less drag than its rivals. The only way we could counter that, which is mainly from Red Bull and Mercedes' point of view, is if they've got so much downforce from their underbodies, they don't have to run as much rear wing anyway. That is another way of reducing drag, rather than using the side pods to reduce your rear tire drag, so there's 2 ways of tackling it. It will be a battle of the concepts. They could all end up being super fast over a lap, but like different ways of creating the lap time between the turns and the straights, as it was last year and the last few years. Ferrari's Fred Vasseur, however, believes in the car they made this year. He says that he is pleased with the work done by their engineers, and that the reliability issue that has plagued the team last year is now fixed. We know the regulation is crystal clear, that the engine is almost frozen, but we just can't change something for reliability. Last year, it's not a secret that it was not the best aspect of the engine, but we did a good job at perfecting it, and I think that now we are ready for the season. I think that last year that the window for the engine was very small, and let's see what happens this season, but I think we are in a good place. What are your thoughts? Is Leclerc slowly planting the seeds for a Ferrari exit in 2024? How well will the SF23 perform this season against Red Bull and Mercedes? Let's talk about it in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell for the latest news.